All right, y'all. Let's go.
Bang! What?
Jake Paul has disclosed his hidden weapon that will change the outcome of the contentious bout, which is less than 3 weeks away. And it's not a crazy new trainer or another piece of gaudy gear this time. It has won a world championship. With every day that goes by, the excitement surrounding Tank versus Jake Paul is growing and isn't abating. The entire setup seems like it belongs on Netflix already, from the knockout bonus to the surprising friendships that are emerging behind the scenes. And now, as he gets ready for the fight in Miami on November 14th, Jake Paul has added another conversation by inviting a world champion to spar with him.
You blame a man for taking that opportunity because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault him for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
okay.
It just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But
however, Jake stated this information directly in an interview with TMZ Sports. It was evident that he was beginning to feel the pressure of what was ahead. He described it as his most perilous battle to date and acknowledged that, for the first time in a long time, he is beginning to feel the effects of his nerves. On the inside, I'm the most terrified I've ever been before a fight. This is crazy, Jake replied, admitting his vulnerability for a moment. This is frightening. In a way, it keeps me up at night.
And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. You know, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times. Something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy.
He has promptly counterbalanced that weakness, though, by announcing that he has been filling his camp with top talent. He disclosed that one of the world's most defensively sound boxers, Shakur Stevenson, will be joining his camp to assist him hone his skills before taking on Tank Davis, in addition to regulars like Raymond Ford and Montana Love.
Man, I'm thinking about, Bigfoot versus Littlefoot. Andre the Giant versus Wee Man. Man, this is going to be better than damn Circus on Lake. Yeah, they're going to look weird as hell in the ring together, man. You see how big Jake Paul is? 200 plus pounds? Man, I don't understand it. I don't get.
That's the bit that took everyone by surprise. Because, as everyone who has even remotely followed boxing over the past 5 years knows, Stephenson and Gervonta Davis have never been on good terms.
When it comes to Davis, you know, he says in the press conference, what do you say? Just be a fan and watch the fight and enjoy the fight. Enjoy what, bro? You against Uber drivers? I don't want to watch that. You know what I mean? And then you get a guy who gives you a good fight. Don't you give him a rematch? You know what I mean? And then you want to be compared to Floyd. Floyd gave instantaneous rematches.
The two have verbally sparred on social media, hinted at a fight that never happened, and been frequently compared for their lightweight prowess. It is therefore quite significant to witness Stevenson cross that invisible border and enter Jake Paul's camp. Shakur posted on X Fire, seemingly thrilled about it. Have the opportunity to select a brilliant businessperson and contribute some creativity in the process. I'm in. Despite being brief, the post speaks a lot. He sees a chance to learn, study, and possibly even subtly communicate with Davis in addition to sparring.
Way you could, in any realistic or legitimate way in your mind, you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
The strategic rationale for this partnership is what adds to its intrigue. The foundation of Stevenson's game is timing, control, and angles. The precise things Jake must comprehend in order to withstand Davis's pressure. Tank is more than just quick and powerful. He is calculating. He forces errors and breaks boxers down by round. Stevenson has spent years closely examining that. Jake is effectively hiring a human playbook for handling Davis's rhythm and movement by bringing him in.
Yeah, in terms of sparring, you know, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're going to hit up Erickson, Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters.
The scene is established back in Miami in the meanwhile. The Casa Center is where the bout will take place. Additionally, Jake has stated unequivocally that he is not here merely to survive. He is losing weight, modifying his conditioning to keep up with Davis's speed, and concentrating on using time to offset explosiveness. As I've done with other opponents, I want to walk Tank into a knockout. Jake claimed it was audacious, but he has always taken that stance. Manage the confusion and create his moment. The build-up is now beginning to have a cinematic quality. There are psychological tests on both sides, a knockout bonus up for grabs, and now a well-known opponent of Davis is entering Jake's corner. This type of arrangement makes it difficult to distinguish between the plot and the promotion.
A 92-pound weight difference, almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. Let's say he comes in at 200 pounds. It's still a 65-pound weight advantage. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What don't you understand about this? If you want respect from your peers, if you want everyone...
Despite all of this cooperation, Shakur Stevenson isn't really picking Jake Paul to win, which is funny. He has been honest about that. Stevenson stated in his TMZ interview that he still thinks Gervonta Davis will emerge victorious, even though he appreciates Jake's preparation. According to Shakur, size will have some bearing on the battle. I'll probably just go out there and attempt to outbox him if I'm feeling like I'm tanking. Use my intelligence and expertise against him. I imagine Tank simply outboxing him and making things very simple.
Gio's World Facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated.
That's Shakur in his prime. Analytical, logical, and well-written. He avoids getting sucked into the commotion. He is aware that Tank's ring IQ is underestimated. Stevenson sees the intelligence behind the punches, while most people concentrate on his strength. Davis's ability to study opponents, dissect them, and lay traps. He views Jake's size as a benefit rather than a decisive factor.
Camp of the latter. But instead of giving us the rematch with Roach, he's going to fight Jake Paul. Now this is where you have a chance to stand up as fans. Don't pay for it. Don't watch it. But we know that you're going to.
But that's not how everyone sees it. A very different view comes from Terence Crawford, who is perhaps one of the most complete fighters of this era. Crawford stated on the Full Send podcast that he is leaning toward Jake Paul in order to pull off the upset, and he used only physics in his reasoning. According to Crawford, Jake is too big for Tank.
He was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta.
He's actually much too large for Tank. Tank is explosive, skilled, and capable of powerful punches. Jake's right hand is capable of punching. I've had first-hand experience with it. He's a large guy. He can punch, and he's not as slow as people believe. To be honest, I believe Jake by youth. There is no victor. An exhibition is what it is. Jake, meanwhile, is too large. He's too huge if they truly go for it. Tank won't be able to enter after that blow. Jake gives Tank a solid punch. It's finished.
He is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Being one of the few professional fighters who had the opportunity to observe Jake's training in person, Crawford's viewpoint strikes a different chord. He has witnessed the power. He has seen Jake get better with every battle. And he makes a serious point regarding the jab. That extended reach and positioning the right hand against someone with Tank's shorter stature are the focal points of Jake's entire style. That might actually be an issue.
And you know what, PBC has to be called out in this too. They have one of the biggest stars in boxing, and they're putting them in this farcical fight. And they are struggling for survival, PBC. I mean, they are just falling apart. You know, the Pacquiao fight did terrible, you know, terribly promoted.
It feels like controlled mayhem all around Gervonta Davis's camp right now. It is evident in the way his people speak, the way videos are making their way public, and the way fragments of information are being given to the media in an effort to create a narrative. That he is completely outperforming larger men rather than merely keeping up with them. His camp's message that this iteration of Tank hits harder than ever before is all muscle and intimidation.
The fight is scheduled and everybody's going to watch it. So with all the eyes on it, there's only one result that is going to be of satisfactory. Only one result. And if Tank knocks out Jake. That's the only result.
They claim that even though the weight difference is absurd on paper, Tank still wins because he is throwing heavyweights back with his blows and putting them down in sparring. They're trying to market that tone. Pure danger, neither strategic nor cautious.
What do you think of Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis? I know on Instagram you called it a circus.
Yeah, boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me questions like that again.
However, there's a feeling that Davis is aware of what he's truly getting into if that noise is present. He is naturally lighter and smaller, and he is currently attempting to gain muscle without losing the unique explosion that makes him deadly at 135 pounds. Thus, conditioning is no longer the only aspect of his training. He needs to modify his power transfer to a heavier body. What?
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying?
He doesn't engage in long sparring sessions. His aggressive outbursts are brief. Finding that one clean opening that has the power to instantly change the outcome is more important than pacing over 12 rounds. He's attempting to protect the Tank that fans are familiar with, the one that ends things early. Additionally, the assurance emanating from his camp verges on defiance. Calvin Ford, his trainer, has been quite forthright about the circumstances, particularly the gloves.
To play it off and throw it back on Coach Calvin, Gervonta, and their team and say that was their idea. But that makes no sense, bro, because Gervonta fights in 8-ounce gloves. 8-ounce gloves. Now Jake fights in 10-ounce gloves. 10-ounce gloves.
While Jake Paul continues to use 10 or 12 elves, he wanted Tank to use smaller gloves, the 8-ounce ones that have greater sting. Ford was aware of such particulars. According to him, Tank still has control of that equalizer. He isn't acting composed about the rest. The reality that Jake is the naturally larger man is not something they are avoiding. They simply don't give a damn. After they sign the contract, they put all of their energy into making every punch count double.